Hey, don't steal my line. I'm the one who says hello to all the gamers. Dude, like I got this Windows update. This is probably like 3 months ago. And they started putting the weather into the taskbar. So I can see what the weather looks like without having to look out my window, which is 90 degrees to my left. The shit's pissing me off. If I'm not outside, I don't want to be constantly reminded that it's raining. It's a drag on your mood, man. If I'm going outside, yes, I'll check the weather. I want to know if it's raining or it's going to rain. Don't get me wrong. But if I'm just inside living life in the metaverse, the weather's always beautiful here, man. The winters are remarkably mild. This is the most boomer take you've ever had. You can't just say that everything's a boomer take. Boomers love knowing the weather. It's like the thing that they get hardest for. If anything, it's a Zoomer take. I just dress in a windbreaker and pants that are 6 inches too long with the cuffs rolled up anyway, so it does. I don't have to dress for the weather at all. Weather. That's caca. Hold on. I got a little hangnail here. Goggy, stop trying to say that you're a Zoomer. You've been around long enough. There's no way you're a Zoomer. I bet you're an elder millennial that, like, you're basically like that dude from 300 who was Spartan, but they wouldn't let him be part of the 300 so that he became like a Benedict Arnold for Xerxes. Sorry, I didn't mean elder millennial. I meant the younger millennial. What age group are Zoomers? I don't know. I'm going to say under 25, but over 12. Seems about right. $15 to $25, something like that. 15 to 25. What's 28 then? You would be a neo-millennial. But millennial, look, I'm not trying the millennial post, but the millennial generation is kind of like, I don't think it fully applies, okay? Because I am like a mid to elder millennial, but I think like a cultural delineation. I lived like a decade before I had internet access. I think that's like the actual dividing line, and why sometimes I feel like I have more spiritually in common with Gen X. Whereas if you're I'm 33, maybe you're 28 and you got internet access, like you by your first memory you had internet access. I could see in that case why you would have, maybe you would feel more resonant with the Zoomer generation. Oh, I'm not one of those. Look, I like. There's this podcast I listen to. I'll admit it is about finance, but they start the podcast with like a bunch of bullshit first, usually, and they were talking about like how they're so happy to be Gen X's because they got to. They're like, oh, kids these days like don't play outside. It's so nice to. When we were kids, we had to be bored sometimes, and like we would go outside, and I'm like, motherfucker, you were like, you probably had cable. Shut up. I get it, you're 50 years old. You're like, okay, they're like, when we were bored, we had to go out and make up some kind of game, some kind of sport that's never been invented before in my life. And I'm like, shut up. You just turned on ESPN, dickhead. It's not like you went outside and invented Calvin Ball anytime, you didn't have anything to do for 5 seconds. You didn't grow up in the Dust Bowl. Just relax. You were in high school in 1994. It wasn't 1949. Anyway, sorry, too far. I don't. That's all I got. I will say the banter axons have kind of connected though. I didn't like so my baby's been going through a sleep regression, as has been mentioned. But last night she didn't go to bed until like 10 p.m. Like we tried to put her to sleep at like 7:30. She would just like we'd wait till she relaxed in her crib, then we would try to sneak out of her room and she would wake up and like be furious. So then we would like kind of just lock her in there for like 10 minutes cuz that's sleep training, and then you if she doesn't calm down after 10 minutes, you go back in. Repeat this for like 2 hours, but eventually I got it done. But that's okay. She went to bed at 10. I slept like 11:30 to 6. That's a reasonable weekday sleep schedule. I can live with that. I'm feeling good today. Be honest, how many books about parenting did you read? I read like half of one. You don't need you don't need a parenting book, sincerely. If you're concerned about it, even though it's like one of the most important things you'll ever do in your life for sure, you don't need to read a book. You need to read like a pamphlet. And you need to have internet access, because I probably Googled, you'll just Google absolutely idiotic questions. Can a 6-month-old baby eat lettuce? Obviously, like, from the outside looking in, you're like, of course. Why wouldn't a 6-month-old be able to eat lettuce? But when it's your baby, you're like, I don't know, she's only eaten like rotini and pureed peas. I might as well. You never know if there's going to be something that's like, well, if they eat lettuce, they'll explode, right? Like honey is, yeah, honey is one of those things that you might not know. You're not supposed to feed your baby honey until they're over a year old. Don't quote me on that. I would look up your own source. But if they have an allergic reaction, they don't possess like the necessary fortitude to weather the storm. So honey is a big one. Oh, there's botulism spores in it. Oh, there you go. Sriracha. I will say, when we went to the Sakura Days Japanese festival in Vancouver and we got some Japa dog, the baby loves French fries. It's like basically her arc reactor, bad chest. So I got one order of fries with like shichimi on them, which is a spicy Japanese spice blend, and then one regular, and then I let her try one of the shichimi ones, and she put it in her mouth, and then as soon as it touched her tongue, she just said hot and then spit it out on the grass. And I was like, okay. But there's no shame in trying, don't get me wrong. Might as well give it a shot, right? And then I was like, you think that's hot, shichimi? Japanese food isn't even spicy. Wait until you try some gochujang. Lamau. I've got scorpion pepper powder at home. I've got some bird's eye chilies in the fridge if you want to taste something that's actually hot. Owned. Get wrecked. Anyway, what the hell am I doing? I don't know. Okay, so here's how today's going to go. I didn't know what to play, so I thought I would play Sporkle because I kind of ripped you guys off last time. Last time we played Sporkle, we only played for like an hour, and we played a bunch of sap instead. So I also felt like that was maybe not too much sap, but too little Sporkle. The ratio was all messed up, like a Tim Hortons bagel with cream cheese. So let's do some Sporkle. At 11 a.m., which is about 2 hours from now, Apollo and I are going to play some Yacht Dice and maybe other Clubhouse games, assuming I have it installed. I don't know exactly how long that's going to go. We'll have maybe an hour or two after that, I would love to play some more Nightfall. There is a part of my brain, like, just to be honest with you, having played PUBG yesterday, I kind of wanted to play a Fortnite solo. But then there's also a part of my brain that's like, it's easy to assert the theoretical existence of a Fortnite wave. However, when you have to put your own cojones on the line, when you got to put an hour of your 25-hour stream week on the line for Fortnite, all of a sudden you got some skin in the game, man. What are you talking about? I'm just saying, I don't cut off my testicles if we don't do well in Fortnite if we play. So I don't know. We're just going to basically play things until we get tired again. And then we're going to pivot to something else. And we have several options. When are we doing our Survivor podcast? Jay, are you caught up on this season? Are you caught? What do you think about Roxroy's glasses? I could do a 2-hour episode just on Roxroy. He's got the Horace Grants. I love every time he goes to tribal council, he's like, it's like he's preparing to catch an elbow to his orbital bone. It's so crazy. Roxroy's awful. I don't know. I find him like, he's so funny to me that like his whole thing is just like not necessarily. I mean, maybe this is the edit, but I love that like his whole thing is not working, but then just trying to hype up the people that are working. Like when the one guy was trying to start the fire. Careful, careful. That's right. That's how you do it, Romeo. That's how you do it. You need those embers to fall on that. Now blow on it. Don't blow too hard. You don't want to extinguish it. Just blow. That's how you do it, Romeo. That's how you do it. Anyway, and then everybody's like, I hate this guy. I just love like his dad energy is so strong. You can tell like he's been spending a lot of time hanging out with like 5-year-old kids. Anyway. He is completely off the internet grid, which I also think is great. Who are you rooting for this season? Look, okay, I didn't want to start this with like a bunch of banter, but I don't have anything else to do, so that's fine. This one's for the Survivor believers. Jonathan, I wanted to hate him because he's handsome and very strong, but he just seems like, at least on the show, he seems like a good guy. And his power level is through the roof. I don't know his path to victory unless he wins like every immunity challenge. And then, I mean, these are Survivor spoilers for this season. So I apologize to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I feel like I was rooting for Jenny, and then Jenny got eliminated due to her tribe being so ass, they couldn't like get to a tribal council without blowing up their own team. She didn't do anything wrong. It was just like, it's basically like me in PUBG. Like I'm landing headshots out of nowhere. And then, you got somebody's just throwing away their vote for no reason. People are like lying about who they're going to vote for, but they're all doing like cancel out lies so that it ends up in a weird tie. Like, so I was rooting for Jenny, I like Hai. Hai seems cool. I just feel bad for Lydia. She doesn't have any screen time, and yet she had to do every physical challenge because the dude who dislocated his shoulder was like, I gotta sit out. But then when she was going, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but like that challenge where she had to jump and like grab something that was 2 feet above her head, she just can't do it, man. Which is fine. That's Survivor. That's why you choose someone to sit out. But this one dude he's like, I gotta go. I can't be a part of this challenge. Then the next episode, he's going spearfishing. I mean, he was kind of just floating on top of the surface and half-heartedly stabbing the spear in the water, but like still, it's. Okay, anyway, so we got to get started here, man. Daniel's energy was so good. The lawyer who says before the negotiation starts, I just want to let you know I'll fold in an instant. And then every time Jeff Probst is like, someone's got to Someone's got to sit out this challenge. Before he even finishes his sentence, he's like, "Okay, guys, I've got nothing to add. Good luck." And he just goes and sits on the bench. It's so good. Oh man. Okay. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. You know what? We're not playing Geo today, but maybe we could do some Geo guesser. I don't know what this is. Complete the map snippets. Complete the map snippets. Can you complete the map by naming each country that would appear within the area of the map snippet? Maybe? I don't know. What do I use for this? What's my full screen GeoDuels? Is that what I use? That looks like it might work. / marker. Sporkle. We are back with Sporkle because I ripped you off and didn't give you enough Sporkle.